moment of today. First, with respect to conservation, we in the United States need to make sure that people understand that our quality of life and our economics are very much dependent on how we support recreation, conservation, and preservation. There is no doubt in my mind that as we struggle with the global economics of our Earth and we struggle with our own economic challenges in the United States, that we see outdoor recreation and conservation and preservation as a keystone to the job future of America. And so people who come to Big Bend, who spend money at Big Bend, end up creating jobs in this part of the state. People who in Montana visit that state and go to places like Glacier and to our wildlife refuges and to go there to hunt and to fish and to boat and to hike and to see the great wonders of our world, do a tremendous amount for the state of Montana. Montana gets about 11 million visitors a year, even though they have a population of less than 1 million because they only have one member of the U.S. House of Representatives. But it tells you that Montana's economic future and its current economic livelihood is very much dependent on what they do with conservation. So when a group, an independent group, Southwick Studies, comes up with a conclusion that there are 8.5 million jobs created in the United States through outdoor recreation and through conservation and through preservation, it is important for us to remind the nation that if we are going to maintain a strong job base in the United States, that we need to make sure that we are making the right investments in conservation. So it is something which I work on every day. It's something which we are all very much committed to, and I believe strongly that on the United States side, we will have some good days ahead for both the National Park Service through all of its different programs, as well as the Fish and Wildlife Service and the conservation agenda that we care so much about. But let there be no doubt that what happens between now and December 23rd will probably set the stage for everything that will come after that for the next 10 years. So with that, let me spend a few minutes just talking about this very special place. Bill Wellman described what we're trying to do here with this crossing into Boquias. It is a very important place because of the region that it is on both sides of the border. Whether it's the bear or whether it's the deer or all the rest of the species of wildlife here, we're looking at one conservation area. And the feature of a border between the United States and Mexico really should not interfere with the creation of this binational conservation area where we work together on both sides of the border to deal with issues such as invasive species, to deal with a whole host of other issues that really make this one of the most spectacular ecoregions of the world. I think that President Franklin Roosevelt was correct when in 1944 he wrote the letter to President Camacho, and he said to the President Camacho in his letter, quote, "I do not believe that this undertaking in the Big Bend will be complete until the entire park area in this region on both sides of the Rio Grande form one great international park." That was in 1944. And I believe that President Roosevelt's words ring loud and clear today here as well. And so as we move forward with this effort here, it will be a binational conservation area. It has the strong support of both President Obama and President Calderon, and we take a step in that direction to realize President Roosevelt's vision this day. We would not have gotten here had it not been for the great work of many people and the leadership of Juan Elvira. He came to my office in February of 2009 and said to me that there was a great opportunity for the United States and Mexico to work together, and that it was this binational conservation area here in Texas. And sometimes when you look at the media today and you see what is happening in the relationships between the United States and Mexico, you think that it's all an area about problems and conflict and violence and drug interdiction and the like. And yes, those are very important issues of security to both sides of the border, and both of our countries need to be very concerned, and we need to deal with those issues in an effective way, because we need to have the kind of safe and secure societies on both sides of the border that our citizens tell us we need to have. It's something that representative government must and will deliver. That as the attention of the world is focused on so much of its time on those issues, it's also important to focus on other things that are going on between the United States and Mexico. We can talk about NAFTA, we can talk about a whole host of other things. But one of the great things that is happening here today is this binational conservation area. And it was Juan Elvira and his vision that the area on both sides of the border be managed in a way in which we shared our resources, we shared our science, we shared our knowledge, and we really managed it as one of the world's premier binational conservation areas. So it's my pleasure to really introduce to you the person who has made all this possible, Secretary Juan Elvira.